That guy did. Oh my god! Surprise, motherfucker! What? Oh my god, you're fucking crazy!
How do I look? I look relaxed. That's my chin look. My chin looks terrible. Whatever. What is up, you smexy individuals? My name is Birdman778, and welcome to another thematic build video. Today, we're starting off the first video of our Avatar The Last Airbender series, and this is Waterbender Zane. Now, before we get into the video, I want to let you guys know, stay up to date on my social media feeds, twitter.com/Birdman778, Instagram.com/BirdmanGraham. Check me out on Twitch, twitch.com/Birdman778. Stream Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays starting at 5 p.m. And we have some other streams sprinkled in between there. So again, make sure you're up on those social medias, and also make sure to drop a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. So like I mentioned before, Zane is going to be our waterbender for this series. Why exactly are we having him be the waterbender out of all the other vault hunters? Well, because a lot of part of his trees kind of go around cryo and just ice in general is something that waterbenders are able to control. If you watch Avatar The Last Airbender or the Legends of Korra, you would see that waterbenders are able to turn water to ice at will. So I was like, you know what, these two kind of meet hand in hand. And also the fact that a lot of Zane's abilities are based around cryo in some way, shape, or form. But for this build specifically, we're actually doing nothing but truly water in a fun way. We have on the hyper hydrator, is the main weapon of this build. Why did we pick the hyper hydrator? Well, because one of its alternate fire modes is literally just shoots water. Like, it just splashes water on enemies, like a squirt gun would. So I was like, this would be too funny. Actually, somebody in my Twitch chat mentioned it, and I gave it a shot, and it ended up being so perfect that we completely and utterly changed up the entire build that we were doing. Before, I was doing a bunch of different cryo weapons, and we were just doing that, so there really wasn't anything truly different about it. And then we tried this, and it was absolute blast. So hyper hydrator is going to be the main weapon for this build. I have on a consistent hits flipper, mainly using the cryo on it. For the flipper, it's more for if you get knocked down and you're not able to get yourself back up with the hyper hydrator. As you can see, when we get to our skill tree, we're able to use clone to kind of help us out a little bit, but on the off chance, the flipper is mainly just a I'm knocked, I need to get back up real quick weapon. In regards to our items, I have a frozen heart with digiclone active, regen 3% of your health. I have on an Sea and Dead class mod with splash damage, weapon damage, and SMG damage, a whispering ice grenade, and then a snowdrift victory rush. Now, why do we have these specific things? Again, cryo, we wanted to stick with the water theme as much as humanly possible. This Sea and Dead class mod is really good for the splash damage that we have on this hyper hydrator. Helps out a lot, actually, and we're going to see throughout the build there's some times where enemies are pretty close to each other and they're able to get concussive damage from one another from the splash damage. The whispering ice is really great for our drone that's going around. Drops it on some enemies. They get kind of thrown around this area by the singularity from the whispering ice, which I think is super great, and also just the ice spikes that come from that. When it comes to our skill tree, obviously, we're pretty balanced out throughout a lot of it. In the green tree, we have a couple points in adrenaline, brain freeze, and then confident competence. Now, this was one that I was kind of back and forth on. Whenever we changed the build up, I had a lot more points into this green tree because I was down here in refreshment. Doing that to get that extra health out of it, I saw it being super beneficial. But once we got to hyper hydrator, I kind of realized I was going to need my clone up a lot more. So we decided to change it up a little bit in the blue tree. But speaking of the red tree where the clone is, pretty balanced out throughout it. We're essentially just trying to beef up our clone as much as humanly possible. You can notice we have Trick of the Light going, so we get that bonus cryo damage to enemies that aren't shooting at us. This is actually super beneficial for the times like enemies are focused just on your clone. There's a lot of times where I will jump into a group of enemies, swap back out real quick. All the enemies are looking at him, so then I'm able to shoot them, get some damage off, and get that extra cryo bonus from it. In regards to the blue skill tree, we have Sentinel going, obviously. We have that Winter's Drone, so it's getting that cryo damage out from that. And then also the Bad Dose. This is really good because it helps buff us up a lot, so that we're able to do some more damage, as well as our clone. Going back to the red skill tree, forgot to mention this double barrel. This is huge. So you and your clone are both using the hyperhydrator. It's super awesome. Whenever you're going through this, you and him focusing enemy on your own, and the health bar just plummets. It's so funny. I was cracking up the entire time I was doing this build just because it's so obscure, but it worked and it was fun. We have 1 point salvation just because our clone is going to be doing a lot of damage on the side as well, so we're able to get that life steal from it. I would say this is one where you can maybe put a couple more points into it just so you get that extra health from it. Maybe take something out of Cool Hand and put it in there instead, just so you can be assured that, hey, you're going to get that health regen that you're really needing. But a big reason that we kind of built down into the blue tree more than anything is to get down to good misfortune. Again, doing that kill skill stuff with the Scene Deck class mod as well, getting us that getting that uptime on our action skills is super beneficial, especially when we're going with like Malamon takedown. I don't think I'd be able to do it without good misfortune on, honestly. It'd just be way too hard to constantly be trying to get my clone and my drone going, and it just constantly being up is super awesome. But again, we're getting plenty of cryo damage going on, especially in like different things like binary system, getting those cryo novas off. Again, like I mentioned, Trick of the Light helping us out a lot, and then just honestly, just from the passive stuff from Brain Freeze as well. In regards to our Mayhem Modifiers, I decided to go Speed Demon. We're not in a whole lot of speed skills, so obviously getting those kills, increasing our speed, which is going to increase our damage with Violent Speed, is really important. I have Flora's Lava on here for a specific reason. It actually meets the thematic part of the build. Obviously, if you watch Avatar The Last Airbender, the firebenders are the enemies, so the floor is lava, the floor being fire and burning you is the enemy, so stay on your feet, keep going. On this one, I have Laser Fair and Postmortem on. These can obviously change. These are the two that I think mainly I can swap in and out. I'd probably say something like Chain Gang or Drone Ranger for the hard, and obviously like Buddy System for the very hard. But Death going around isn't too terrible, especially with having the clone, just for the fact that you can use Old You get that instant revive real fast if Death were to hit you. So obviously going through some of the footage of the build, you're going to see that we're actually able to mob up really well as kill bosses with it. Wasn't able to kill anyone like Grave Ward or anything like that. I just don't think the high health enemies like that are something this can really do. But we were able to do Malamon takedown with this, and it was so satisfying to finish off Grave Ward with it. I think only one part of it we pull out the flipper, but it was mainly just to conserve ammo on our hydrator, just so that the final kill could be from the hydrator itself. So again, I really recommend trying this out, give it a shot. It was super fun to do. But guys, be ready for our Earthbender Amara, which will be the next build that we work on here soon. I'm super excited for that, and honestly, I'm excited for all these. Kind of getting to jump into that new thematic theme with, oh, that's redundant. But getting to do something new, something I'm really interested in. I love Avatar. I just finished it, and going to be watching Korra here soon on Netflix. It's gonna be a treat. So guys, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, check out the social media feeds, twitter.com/birdman778, instagram.com/birdmangram, and obviously here on YouTube and Twitch as well at birdman778. Guys, what is the earth, fire, water, air element that you would pick if you were a bender in the Avatar world? Let me know in the comments down below. But other than that, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, night, whatever it may be, and stay smexy.